Greetings, Culture Warriors. It is I, Jeff Vieira, author of Culture is Everything, and your host for this latest dispatch from the front. Today, a walk on the wild side. This is a story from 9 News here in Denver by Alexander Kirk and Mike Cleese. How your cutout can attend a Broncos game at Empower Field. The Denver Broncos announced Monday they will provide fans with an opportunity to purchase cutouts to be placed in the Stadium Bowl at Empower Field at Mile High. According to the Broncos, fan cutouts will cost $100, with all net proceeds benefiting Denver Broncos Charities, the nonprofit philanthropic arm of the team. Denver Broncos season ticket holders will be contacted directly with details about the fan cutout program. Orders are open to all fans and must be made before Friday, September 4th. That's this Friday. Get yours now to guarantee placement in time for the home opener against Tennessee on Monday, September 14th. Cutouts can be created and purchased by visiting www.denverbroncos.com/cutouts. The Denver Broncos have announced fans will not be able to attend the team season and home opener at Empower Field at Mile High on Monday, September 14th. The Broncos are hopeful that a limited number of fans will be able to attend home games this season. Fans could potentially attend the Broncos' Week 3 game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Sunday, September 27th. As the Broncos gradually move in fans, attendance will likely be around 20 to 25% of the stadium's capacity at first. That would mean anywhere from 15,000 fans to 20,000 fans. Mile High Stadium has a capacity of 76,125. And what could be a better metaphor for this summer with its phony pandemic than placing a cutout of people in the stands so that it looks like on TV, as long as you don't look too closely, like people, human beings, are actually in attendance. What could be a better metaphor for the situation we find ourselves in than cardboard cutouts taking the place of people? I mean, we have our governors pretending to be human beings and not doing a very good job of it. So why not have cutouts in the stands of our sporting events? Why not, as others have suggested, pump in crowd noise so we can pretend as though thousands of riotous fans were, well, riotous may be a bad term for it, of cheering fans, engaged fans, active fans, were actually pressed into the stands to view whatever product the National Football League puts on the field this season. There's a certain poetry, certain irony in such things. Alternately, we could embrace reality, authenticity, and dispense with the nonsense, quit pretending, and get back to watching sports. Get back to allowing people to go about their lives, assuming risk as they've always done, and living. This sham, phony attempt at carrying on, despite the fact that America is being oppressed, it just reminds you of such things as when the Potemkin villages were first built under the reign of Catherine the Great in Russia, and they wanted to pretend that Russia was a wealthy, well-off country. And so as the carriage rolled through, they would see phony homes erected on the shtetl, as though the inhabitants therein were prosperous and thriving. Similar things were done during the Soviet regime, especially for the benefit of rather gullible Western reporters such as Walter Duranty of the New York Times, after whom a prize in journalism is named to this day, who, during the height of the Ukrainian famine in the 1930s, went over to Stalinist Russia and proclaimed it to be a phenomenal success, something that the world should emanate, even as they starved millions of kulaks to death. Those small farmers who had hitherto represented the breadbasket of Europe, and now could not produce enough to feed themselves, much less the Soviet Union. We saw this, of course, and continue to see this in communist China, where glittering cities are pointed to as typical, but what you're not seeing is the slave labor chained to their work that makes it possible. What you won't see is the people still starving in the rural areas, much as they always have, struggling to make ends meet, willing to sell their children in order to try to make a go of it. We see it in North Korea, the pariah state, the sick man of the world, wherein famine is ever present, but you won't see it because of carefully staged events which attempt to make North Korea look like Shangri-La. So why should the United States of America be any different now that we've embraced the same governing principles as Mao, as Stalin, as all the rest? So we'll take cutouts after an appropriate review from censors to make sure that those cutouts don't represent an America that they don't want people to see. And once firmly approved and once the money is paid, we'll have somebody go position the cutouts, probably 6 feet apart, because we wouldn't want anyone to get the wrong idea about social distancing. And they'll place them in the end zone, and they'll pump in the phony crowd noise at the appropriate moments in the game. Some production whiz will no doubt be tasked with being quick on the trigger button on the laugh track to make it seem as though an authentic athletic contest is underway. Oh, and they'll no doubt pipe in the Star-Spangled Banner, which will trigger the usual suspects to kneel in disrespect towards a country which operationally no longer exists. A country which died back at the end of March of 2020 at the age of 244 years. Because in this fallen day and age, we need to embrace the phoniness, the false, the fake, just in order to continue on the terrible path that we've now chosen for ourselves and for our children. It is a lot easier, after all, to get cardboard cutouts to obey than it is to get flesh and blood human beings. Or at least, it used to be. Thank you, and have a great day.